What's up everyone, Speedy here. In this 1v1 video, we're going to be doing 2 live games as well as 1 replay review. So let's get right into it. Okay, here we are in game number 1. Had a couple pretty rough warm-up games, so I'm hoping it's going to translate. Not terribly. But it is trolling, okay. It's great to know. If you're in a position like that and your opponent's just kind of being weird, what you want to do is just kind of be patient and kind of recognize what their momentum looks like and then just play around that. Nice. Get back, Jobii. Wow, dude, what a perfect shot. Like, that's perfect placement away from him, top bins. That's beautiful. W recovery. That's fine. uh, that's beautiful. Let's go post out. Yeah, that just works for him because he 50s. Okay. No bump. No bump. Okay. Fair enough. No bump is funny because I definitely felt like I went through it, but that's a demo? Okay. Actually getting a good spot on demo, right? Get all the fucking space in the world you want. Whatever. F gets that, whatever, bro. Do all these mechanics, but can't save that. That's where you just gotta keep the fundamentals, you know? Stick to fundamentals. That'll win you games when you need them. Like there, recognize it wasn't a bounce that I was going to score from, so I had to play around the bounce. See, I don't understand how that's a beat. Like, there's so many times where I just get beat there. Like, how am I not getting contact there at all? And how are none of the contacts, like, causing a bump at all or anything? It bumps me more. Yeah, we'll take it. Sweaty, sweaty game. Fair enough. GG. Rough game. Here we are in game number 2. Need to close the space. Oh, that's perfect. Good offensive pressure. Nice try. Could see the bump. Well, you just gotta stay back and try to play like the defensive position. Unless he commits for the bump and he's out of the play, you have time. Stay backboard here. Honestly, I actually had a good setup there. I just jumped too high there, honestly. Oh, dude, that flick was beautiful. Like, the directionality in that flick was nice. Just pops it behind him. Nice. Let's bring that back to safety. It's just not a high percentage play if I try to keep that in the corner. Realistic, it probably should have gotten scored on there. That was a pretty bad play on my part. grab this pad lane, pad, and pad. Now I'm in a position I can rotate back. He's going to go for a pinch play. And that's the beat there. That's really unfortunate. He gets the full boost and he just has all the momentum. That's rough. He did not lose this kickoff. As I say that, I lose the fucking kickoff, bro. Thank you. Hyper aggressive playstyle. It's rough to defend against, but we'll take it. Sweatiest games today. Holy crap, dude. Wow. Okay, so in this replay, you're going to see a pretty unfortunate loss. Just a little bit of bad luck and some rough 50s, as you're going to probably see, not yet here, but a little later in the game here. Just get a few 50 that just, honestly, I'll look at replay and I'll understand exactly what went wrong. First, this is what leads to the first goal of the game here, is this possession play. Honestly, here, I shouldn't have been turning this way. The correction here is once I make this touch here, immediately be facing the other way. So back up out of the way and immediately hold power slide and just spin around and be ready to shadow. Because once you're ready to shadow, your recovery time gets reduced because you're not trying to fight your direction. And what ends up happening is because of that, I just have an awkward direction here and he gets into easy 50. That's very favorable. So there, it's about the positioning and also the direction of my positioning. Kickoffs definitely felt rough against this guy. Actually, as you can see, I did win the first game against him. This is a game that followed immediately after. I get beat there very, very slightly. It's just an unfortunate loss on that. Thought I was going to get contact, did not. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I did well to bring this game back, though. It was, as you can see here, it's going to be 0-4 here. And end up bringing it back to 4-4 before he just gets a couple goals that works out. It's not a really good position to go with. There's a lot of open space here. There's better options, though. Here, it could take more time. Instead of going so fast, like because I create the separation here by doing this, a better idea would be to go for either a back foot flick or to try to like stay close to the ball and then play for a bump. Because I went for the play I did, it just created a bit of awkwardness, and it just wasn't really the play that would work. Get a tapped on the bumps. A bit awkward there. Adjustment here is like, as you come off the ground here, try to be a little bit more to the left and back. So you can see like how much I pushed here. So think of it this way. The more you push into this little zone here, so imagine these two pads as a line. If you go past this, your probability of getting a shot decreases significantly. Because remember, look how much more narrow this shot path here is. Look how much more open this shot path is. Which do you think is the shot path you should go for? Shot path number 2. So instead of like, once I get this pad, stop, and then read the bounce, and then try to be a little bit more to the left here. Because in this position here, I'd had a lot of time here, especially because look how fucking out of the way his recovery was. I have all the time in the world to take my time, get it bounced that works, and just soft touch it, and then that'd be goal. We'd be 2-1 right now instead of inevitably 4-0 for what you'll be seeing here. It's a good bump. Really unfortunate. Opponent gets a really good spawn here. It happens actually twice in a row. Opponent gets 2 really fortunate spawns, which is fucking fantastic luck. And here at this point, I take too much time. What you can do instead is when you get a bump here, instead of taking too much time, you just see that he's there, immediately go for a ground to air dribble. Best play here. Just immediately pop. So say here's your car, here's the ball, pop, and immediately just try to get airborne as fast as you can. And then you can get under it, and you can potentially shadow for a bump play if they get close enough, or you can stay behind it and then place for a 50. Those are 2 better options there than trying to play for a defensive 50. It just makes the whole play sequence a lot more awkward, because now he gets a bump, he gets a favorable play, because again, he gets a good spot here. You would think this is a good spawn, but it's actually not a really good spawn because it puts me behind the play. And makes it really, really awkward here. He gets another bump. Just bad awareness on my part. And then I get a rough spawn here. And he gets a post in. The reason why I lose that kickoff is because of the way I flip. One of the big weaknesses now is I know how to speed flip fairly proficiently, or at least consistently compared to used to. But the problem is that I don't have the correct flip direction on 50-50s, and I do not know how to correct that movement or that pattern of or a habit, if you will. Because here it's like I don't know whether to flip right or left. I don't know what to look for. This is one of those kind of growing pains in my position that I'm really struggling with as I try to improve. Is I'm not sure where to dictate the direction of a right flip or a left flip, and that's really one thing that's really killing me a lot. As you can see here, it just gets scored on here again because of that. Kickoffs were definitely a struggle point. Unfortunate miss, just kind of rushed it a little bit. Opponent trolls. He kind of like panic touches there. Just didn't have to touch that, honestly. He had actually a completely free clear, and the ball wasn't actually going towards his net, which is what's funny about the play. This is a good play. A bit tricky, and it's not super high percentage, but it's still a good shot. It's essentially just trying to place the ball behind him, and it's not an easy shot to try to like set towards. I understand why I went for this the way I did, but it's really risky because the opponent only gets scored on because they try too hard. You can see like opponent at this point all the way back here, and he has no way of recovering. Once again, another losing kickoff. You see, it's just this whole situation with my kickoffs is really rough. And that's something I'm trying to build and trying to get better with, but it is a very, very hard thing to get better with. This is a really good high percentage play. This is a really high thought play, is forcing the opponent awkward and then tripping them up. You see, by tripping them up and then keeping them behind, just slows them down. He tries to force the flip, but by that point, he's still behind the play physically. And it just makes it easier for me to now place for the waterfall. So that was well done. Like, I do a good job of playing the game here. Like, I don't give it up. I keep it close as well as I can. It's just unfortunate, as you'll see here, some goals happen later that were really kind of crappy. Like, no bump here. No bump, no bump, no bump. Still no bump, still no bump, still no bump, still no bump. That's insane. And yeah, pretty unfortunate. Because a bump there actually would have changed the whole complexion of that play. I would have a little bit of time to set towards that, and that angle there actually would have been a score, like a scoring shot right there, because he would have been demoed. But unfortunately, the game decided that he did not need to get demoed. He did not deserve to get demoed, and the Rocket Gods decided to gift him one, and so he got gifted one. Didn't really get the best power here. There's not a lot of opportunities here. It's a pretty tricky angle. Poor recovery. I understand the idea was to try to go for a wave dash recovery. Just be careful about doing a wave dash recovery when you're not holding power slide. Not holding power slide there can be really dangerous. It just puts the ball in an awkward spot. Tried to get a zap dash there and mess it up. It's life. Unfortunately, I get scored on here because I messed up that play and I was off sequence. Does a good job of kind of guiding the play. Yeah, this is a close game. No bump there, fortunately. But does a good job saving the play. Honestly, I early jumped that. I would say I definitely early jumped that. I could have been a little bit later and also wider. Yeah, I would say a little early there, and also the direction. It still forces it in a favorable direction for the opponent, because the opponent now has a position where it is a playable position for him, which is what causes this upcoming goal. Opponent gets a good 50 by just literally doing nothing, and that ends up basically finishing and killing the game. Like, I played well, but it was a tough game. It's a tough game against tough opponents. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the nature of where I'm at in Diamond 1. And while I've obviously, I'm going to play this out and you're going to see I'd still lose the game regardless. I generally find myself in these like mid Diamond 1, Diamond 2 positions. One of the things that really is difficult is because I played the game for such a short time relative to a lot of people in these ranks. I find myself trying to work my way through inexperience and try to get better. I work on my mechanics, I work on the game sense. One of the fastest ways to get better with game sense is by doing these replay reviews, and which this is why I added this into my content stream for the channel, so you guys can kind of watch along as I go through this journey. And I hope you guys are also finding these replays insightful. I will say though, one of the things I want to mention to you guys is, if you would like for me to replay review your replays, go into my description, join my Discord via the Discord link below, and go into the replay files channel and just post your replay file from there. If you would like me to make a guide on how to set up your replays, feel free to let me know. I am happy to make a YouTube guide for that. Just let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed watching this video, I'd like to ask you to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Speed D Man out.